by Roger Hargrove. Mr. Rush. Mr. Rush was the fastest thing on two legs. He used to rush hither and thither and thither and hither and back again all the time. And of course, he was always in such a rush that he's never ever finished anything properly. One morning, he woke up with a jump. He only had time for 3 hours sleep because he'd been rushing about for so long the day before. Oh dear, he cried, leaping out of bed. I'm late. He rushed into his bathroom and was not very well as he was sitting there. He cleaned one tooth and rushed downstairs 3 at a time. Mr. Rush had boiled egg and toast and a cup of tea for breakfast. He boiled the egg for 5 seconds and it tastes awfully. And he toasted the bread for 1 second and it wasn't brown at all. And as he couldn't bear to wait for a kettle to boil, he made his tea with cold water. What a horrible breakfast. And of course, he was such a hurry. He only ate a half of it. Rush, silly fellow. After his half of breakfast, he rushed off again. Out of his front door, leaving it open. Down his garden path, out of his garden gate, leave it open too, and off down the lane. He passed Mrs. Happy. Hello, called Mr. Happy. Good morning, Mr. Rush. Where are you off to? Can't stop, cried Mr. Rush. I'm too much hurry. I can see that, thought Mr. Happy to himself as he watched Mr. Rush disappear into the distance. I wonder where he's going. Where Mr. Rush was going was nowhere. Fast as usual. Mr. Rush rushed around all morning, then he rushed home and had a quick bite to eat a sandwich without bread. Then he rushed off again and rushed around all afternoon. That evening, he was really amazed. He never had time to read a book when he saw the evercent of holiday. Ooh, he said, I like that. I haven't had holiday for this. But his face fell. I can't go on holiday, he thought, because I don't have any money. Then he thought again. His face rose. I know, he thought. I'll get a job. So the following morning he rushed up and get the job with a farmer milking cows. But of course, he wasn't any good at that because there's one thing a cow can't stand is being rushed, especially when she's being milked. So Mr. Rush rushed off again and get himself another job, driving a bus. But of course, he wasn't any good because that he was always such a rush. He never stopped at any of the bus stops. And if there's one thing people waiting at the bus stop don't like, it's when the bus doesn't stop for them. So Mr. rushed again and got another job as a waiter in a hotel. But of course, he wasn't any good at that because no sooner he had served people a meal and they'd taken one bite than he whisked away a plate from under their noses. If there's one thing hungry people can't stand is having food whisked away from them. Poor Mr. Rush. No job, no money. Oh dear, he sighed to himself. I'm never going to go on holiday. He looked very glum and gloomy. But then, an idea struck him. A job for someone who rests around all the time. An idea for someone who's the fastest thing on two legs. Do you know what that job was? Would you like to know what job was? Postman. Delivering express letters. Mr. Rush was so good at it, he delivered twice as many letters in half the time any postman had ever done it before. So he had to save enough money for that holiday of his. And so the very next week, there was Mr. Rush sitting on the beach on the hot sunshine on the plane tree on holiday. This is the life, he grinned. It was off for a swim. He's 15 that day, and then it was breakfast time. The end. Well, that was well. Please subscribe and thumbs up, which is on. Thanks.